Hello, this is Chris with the Rising Tide web series, and we have another episode for you today. Junior Corria is our guest speaker today. We do want to remind you that you can go back and watch our last 3 episodes where we started with Terry Edwards going over the phone script, exactly what to say, how he books appointments, and then we went over with Mia, what Mia does when she gets to the house and gets to the kitchen table and the transition to bringing out the ATM. And then the third one we did was last week with Marcus Richardson, going over the About Me page and the first couple of things that he talks about. And so we're going to continue that progression today with Junior. He is going to go over what he is picking up right where Mia left off, going into the financial picture page and how he gets a check in the house. Because just going to the house is only part of it. Getting a check is the second part that we want to focus on. So we're going to go over that today. Thank you, Junior, for jumping on with us.
Absolutely, I'm fired up to be here.
We are excited for your success. You are blowing it out of the water, and crazy life changes. Recently married, and a lot of people when life changes they do worse, but you did better, and so that means you married somebody obviously that's helping you a lot. I know she's a big part of it, and then has one staff and interviewing, going for the second staff person, headed towards partner. And so we're excited for Junior. Junior, if you could just give us just a couple of minutes, high level, how you got to the Alliance. And I remember the first time I met you, I was in Florida, and we shared a suite together and played cash flow quadrants until early in the morning. I don't know if you remember that, but we had a suite there somewhere in Orlando. But tell us a little bit how you found the Alliance and your success so far. Give us high level, please.
That is awesome. I'm pretty sure that when we met, I slept on the floor.
You did?
You did. Hang around. I was like, I just want to get around with you. But hey, everybody, my name is Junior Corria. I started with the Alliance just over 9 years ago. I was 18 years old, right out of high school. And it was just by chance I met the Alliance. I was going door to door with a solar panel, and I knocked on a guy's door that had an insurance license and told me to get mine. And he connected me with Mike and Noel, and I just fell in love with them and leadership. You'll see leadership firsthand. You hang around with us, and I fell in love with it. I was living with my parents back then, and I got kicked out after my second year, so I had to get serious. And I was single in business for years. And 9 months ago, I got married, and now we have a baby on the way. So crazy changes now, and I'm trying to blow this thing up and help others up so that we can be free. That's kind of what's going on right now.
Hey, Jude, you said, I believe it was on a call earlier this week, when you got your first batch of leads, you sold, was it your Xbox or something to buy a batch of leads?
Oh, yeah. That was when I was first getting started. I don't know if it was my first batch or what it was. It was my first month or two getting started. I had no money in my bank account, and I knew immediately, and I believed this would work, and I had my Xbox, which, if you know me, those are tragedy. So I sold it, got like $130. I bought leads, and I sold nothing that week. Like, pretty good time. And thank God it. And so part of this Rising web series is helping you help families, so you don't have to go through all the crazy stuff you went through. So hopefully we get you back.
How much are you averaging selling now a month, Junior?
Whoa, I know I did 45,000 the last 2 months in a row, and my goal is to not do less than 30,000. When I do hire staff, my goal is to get 50,000 and a lot more efficient. So that's
very cool. So last 2 months at 45K. So we're going to show you what he is saying in order to get the checks that make up the 45K. So Junior, in our talk today, we're going to go through how we've already got in the house. You've already gone through getting to the kitchen table, and you've already got to the point to where you've gone through the About Me section. And so we're going to start at the financial picture page. And so you can pick up, those of you watching, go back and watch Mia's. or Marcus is, excuse me, he'll get you all the way up to where we're going to start today. But I think they're going to pull up that page for you, Junior, and then we'll start. My name's Chris, my wife's Crystal, and we're sitting down in mortgage protection policy, and we'll go from there.
All right, beautiful. So at this point, I already know what you need. I already know that if you died, Crystal needs the house paid off, she doesn't have money in savings and all this stuff. So we know all this small talk before we get to that financial picture page. So at this point, Chris, let me find out the best way to help you. So I'm gonna just get some information, kind of figure out where you're at, and then I would have that page pulled up. So Chris, how old are you right now?
I am 33.
33. Okay. And Crystal, how young are you?
She is 30. She would say 33 as well.
So 33? Okay. I gotcha. And about how much is your income per month, Chris?
I combine about 65,000.
Just yours.
Oh, just mine? 35,000.
35,000. And then hers is 30,000?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Gotcha. And do you take any medications, anything at all?
No, I do not.
Okay. Let me better ask, have you ever had cancer, heart attack, or stroke?
No.
Crystal, what about?
No.
Nothing. All right. So y'all are pretty healthy. All right. And then do you smoke or use any tobacco?
Nope.
Oh, tobacco. Good job. All right. And how much you owe?
We owe $110,000.
$110,000. Okay. 30-year mortgage?
Yep, 30 years.
30 years. And how much is your payment?
It's $782.
You can't rent that cheaply. That's good.
Mm-hmm. We got a good interest rate.
I'll pay more rent for one bedroom than that. Oh, cool. Okay. All right. And if you died right now, I remember earlier, again, do you have anything in place, like 401k or savings, anything that can help pay the mortgage off now?
I've got about $10,000 in a 401k, and then she doesn't have anything like that. And then we've got about $1,000 in a savings account.
Okay. All right. So really, you're gonna lose all your income when you die. There's not really much to help anything.
Yeah.
Good job. Hey, good job. You got some savings, so that's good. Okay. All right. Can we get that sheet pulled back up so I can see about? I know what happened with phone. Here, so I can see if I miss. And I'll literally do this. I'll look back at the sheet in case I miss something because I don't know it off the top of my head. I've done this for years, so I'll look back at the sheet. I'll be like, all right, medications, asset operations, income, mortgage, any crazy driving record, criminal record? Nope. All right. Do. Height and weight looks good. Okay, I think we pretty much got a good idea. So what we do, Chris, most people get a policy. They could pay off the entire mortgage. You don't have to get something that pays off the entire mortgage, but you can. Because you're pretty young, I would show you something that you can pay off the whole mortgage and something that'll help protect Crystal with income. Because, I mean, yeah, you can pay the mortgage off, but we're still losing $35,000 a year. So we'll kind of look at a few options that can help you get that taken care of. And I'm not the one that approves you or declines you. I don't do that. So what I do is we just go over the options and we send the application into the insurance company. And Chris, it'll take them about a week or so to give us an answer back. And they'll either say, yep, they approve you, or no, they don't approve you. But you're pretty healthy, so I'm thinking it'll be yes. And then at this point, I'll run some quotes. I'm just going to pretend to run it. Do y'all have kids? You and
yes,
Chris?
We have 3.
3 kids, okay. So if they got 3 kids, I'm automatically going to go with Foresters if they qualify for it because there's free benefits. So I'm going to do a 30-year term with Foresters. So your mortgage is $110,000. So I'll probably do 50 grand, 110,000, and 200,000. Okay. And there's a little teaching in there in a second, but 50 grand is probably $30. Let's say it's $30 each, whatever, just to keep it simple. 110,000 is $60 each, and 200,000 is say $100 a month. Okay. All right. So I'll basically have something that simple on. I don't really complicate it that much. It's really not that fancy. So what I do is, all right, Chris, let me explain how this works. Okay. So this will cover you and Crystal. So this covers both of y'all. So let's say we did 110,000. Okay, this will cover you for the whole 30 years. The price does not go up. The coverage does not go down for 30 years. Okay, and it covers you right away. So if you die, God forbid, the next day after you make a payment, you are 100% covered. With foresters, you're covered as soon as I leave because they have conditional insurance. Okay, um, if you ever get diagnosed with cancer, heart attack, or stroke, they'll give you access to the death benefit. Now, they won't give you the whole 110,000 if you get cancer next week, but they might give you 10 or 15,000, which is a lot more than what you paid in. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's free. You don't even pay nothing for that. It's pretty cool. Okay. The other thing I like about Oysters is that it comes with some free benefits for kids. You don't even pay anything extra. It's pretty cool. So what it does is it's got an orphan benefit on there. So if one parent dies, okay, they will give each child, I think it's either eight. So for the conference call, I don't know if it's number verified. I think it's either 8,000 or 9,000 to go to college. Not sure my number, just say 8,000. Or look it up if you want to. So they give child $8,000 to go to college if just one parent dies. If both parents die, they'll give each child $24,000, Chris, to go to college. And on top of that, they would get $900 a month. Or whoever takes care of them gets $900 a month in child support until they turn 18 years old. Isn't that cool?
That is very cool.
Okay. All right. So if we were looking at these, Chris, okay, so here's 50,000. I was showing to you. So here's 50,000, 110. This is your price. This is hers. And here's 200,000. Okay. If we were looking at those, which one are you more leaning towards?
I'd say probably the 110 for both of us.
110. So that's about 120 a month. Okay. Is that comfortable? Is that in your budget? Is that like comfortable for you?
Yeah.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, we can make it.
Okay. All right. So what I need to do is see if they will approve you for it. Okay. Do me a favor. Go grab your driver's license,
Okay.
and that's it. And then at that point, I've got the application. If I'm doing an e-app, I'm pulling out the e-app, and I'm starting to fill out the e-app. Um, so I can go more in details or answer questions, but that's pretty
Talk
much
to me a
it.
second about how you chose your prices, the 50,000, the 110, and the 200. How did you pick your numbers? And you said there was teaching behind that.
Sure. So a couple things. A part of it is based on the conversation and how much I think they can afford. But then the other part of it is I want people to get as much as they can afford. And for the longest time, I would get smaller premiums because I never showed bigger options. Okay. So if I can provide more value and give them a chance to buy more value, they'll buy it. If I only show them 110,000 as the top one, they'll probably pick 75,000. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm going to show them something that has a lot of value. Oh, this will pay my mortgage and give me income as an option. Does that make sense? But if I never showed you that option, you would never pick a higher amount.
I got you. Perfect.
So,
So let's switch over and let's do it again, but this time let's do final expense. We'll do. I had one question. When you give them three options, is there a higher percentage that they take the middle one, the higher or the lower, or is it kind of all over the place?
it's a high percentage. I would say 70% of the time they pick the middle one.
Okay.
Just human psychology.
But you get to determine the middle, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yes,
All right,
I determine.
perfect. So let's do the final expense, and we'll go through the same thing this time. Me and my wife, I'll be 72, and my wife will be 68, and we'll just go through it again, and just as if it was a final expense policy.
Okay. You want me to do the whole question ask and everything from the beginning, or just what I would do different?
What you would do different. Let's just jump
Okay.
right into it. And
Okay. So the beginning part would be the same, the asking the questions, the cancer, heart attack, stroke, all that would be about the same. So if you die, what do you have that can take care of the final expenses? So let's go from that because you're
Okay.
72. So Chris, if you died right now, do you have anything saved up that can pay off a burial or take care of that right now?
I've got about 700,000 in a 401k that we're no longer contributing to. We left that job, but I've got it, and then we rolled it over to it's in stocks and stuff. I don't know much about. I just know there's money there. My advisor handles it.
Okay. So you've got $700,000 in a 401k. Okay. Um, so here's what I would do. What a lot of people do in your situation is when they have that much money, a lot of people just typically get a really small policy to take care of their burial, just so they know that's earmarked for the burial, and they don't have to worry about their retirement or pulling out or all that stuff. Like this is a policy that will go directly to the funeral. Okay. I will pause because based on the conversation, Chris, and how they're responding to that, I might just switch and talk about that because some people will be like, "Why am I going to pay $80 a month for 10,000 when I've got 700,000?"
Mm-hmm.
So, not to confuse the audience, but that is a possibility. So, depending if they say that, I might switch. But some people do see the value of paying $50 a month. That's taken care of. I don't want to mess with this money. They kind of like having buckets.
Yeah.
So don't use your thinking. Use whatever makes sense to them. So don't think if they got 700,000, why would they pay 50? Don't think that. Now, if they think it, then you got to address it. Does that make sense?
Yes. That
Yeah.
makes
So, but
sense.
let's say you're like, yeah, absolutely, hey, putting $50 a month away for this makes sense. So, okay, so that's what some people do. They have a bucket where they just put it there. Okay, so let me figure this out. I already got your health, so I pretty much know what you're qualified for. So I don't. How much does the burial cost in your area?
We got a flyer that said about 12,000. I
About
don't know if it's
12,000.
real or not, but it's what it said.
It sounds right. I mean, I've seen them between 10 and 15. It sounds right. Is Crystal? Are y'all both wanting to be buried, or one of y'all cremated, or?
No, we're both.
No.
We do have two plots at our church,
Okay.
side by side. But yeah, we're
Okay.
both wanting to be buried.
Okay. Gotcha. So it might not even cost a full 12,000, but if you had a good, $10,000 to $12,000, I think that'd be good. So then what I would do is, so it kind of breaks. So let me run some stuff. So then I would probably run 8,000, 10,000, and 12,000 on that one, and it might be $40 a month, $60 a month, $80 a month for both of them. Just to keep it simple. Okay, or it might be a little bit cheaper for her. Right, hers might be 30, 50, and 70. Okay, and then the way I explain them is so here's the way the coverage works, Chris. Um, Number one, the amount of insurance is guaranteed, so it never goes down. Okay, so the coverage stays the same. Number two, the price never goes up, so that always stays the same too. And then number three, it covers you right away. So if you, God forbid, die tomorrow, you paid in $40, and they got the whole entire thing paid. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
Okay. Now, again, I'm not the one that approves you or declines you for the coverage. The only thing I can do is help you apply for it. And we send that to the insurance company. It takes them about a week to give us an answer back. And the only thing I'm concerned about is you said you had a little bit of diabetes, high blood pressure, but I think we should be fine. Okay. So I'm going to go over this with you. So we did 8,000. That's $40 for you, $30 for Crystal, 10,000, 60 and 50, 12,000, 80 and 70. Okay, we did that. So we were looking at those. Which one of those are you more leaning
The
towards?
one in the middle, I think would be perfect. The
Okay,
10,000 for both of us.
50 is like one. That's like 110. Is that comfortable for you, or is that
Oh
going to
yeah,
carry?
we can definitely do
Com-
110.
okay, all right. So I'm going to see if they approve you for it. Do me a favor. Grab your driver's license.
Okay, perfect. Talk to me a second about if you were sitting in this home and you switched over to deal with the 700,000. What would you say?
Okay. So, so you had said you don't know much about it. Okay. So you got $700,000 in there. Okay. So let me ask you a question, Chris. Would it make sense to you if you had like a small policy that you just put away? and had that for the burial, or do you think, well, I got 700,000, I don't really need that? What do you think?
Well, I don't really know what to do with the 700,000, so I think we just wanted to get the policy, and I mean the market's kind of crazy. We don't even look at the statements anymore because it's not too fun to look at. So I think that's why we needed to get the policy.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
in case.
I am with you. I'll tell you what. On that, do you have any statements on that? Because there's a couple options that are available that if the market drops, you don't lose any of your money, and you don't really pay any fees at all. Which I don't know how much fees you're paying. Do you have any statements on that? I can't guarantee anything. I just look at it. Do you have any statements on
Yeah,
that?
I've got one. We ain't opened the last three. So
We'll open it. Where's it at?
all right,
Then I would.
I hand it to you, and then what are you looking for on that statement?
So what I'm looking for, if I don't understand it, which is possible, I'm going to tell them, hey, I've got a partner of mine that is really great at dealing with the stuff. He helps me with my retirement, and he's helped out a lot of my clients not lose money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this with him and see if there's a way that you can have something where you can gain when the market goes up, but if it ever goes down, you don't lose any of your money. Okay, and you pay like no fees. Would that help you?
That would help a lot. I'd sleep better too.
I can't promise anything, but I'll check with him, and then I'll get back with y'all. And then I'll do more talk and
And that's
go over that.
Bam, that Chris Norris you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah. And I'll go on the calendar and book it there, or I'll call Chris right there if he can talk. If he can talk to him.
So, Junior, the big thing that I'm seeing is you seem very natural. You figure out what they're looking for. And then the thing I saw common was you made a statement, said the price is never going to go up, the coverage is never going to go down, and we're going to get you coverage immediately. And then I noticed both times you said you put the pressure back on the insurance company to approve it instead of you made it clear it wasn't you that was approving or declining them, but you were going to check with them. And I saw those, two things. It kind of made me feel at ease when you said those things if I'm a client. And anything I missed on that?
No, I mean the biggest thing is it should not feel pressured ever. It shouldn't feel like you're forcing people. It should just be a natural, smooth, like flowing water. Like this is part of the process. If it ever feels jerky or weird, there's something that we got to do or fix. You shouldn't feel like a heavy heart doing it. They shouldn't feel a heavy heart doing it. It should just be like this makes sense. Now there's technique to moving them along. If you copy the words, you'll get the technique. But no, I mean that's basically it.
Well, thank you for your time, Junior, today. Very helpful. I would recommend if you're watching this and you're working on your sales process, I would listen to this, write down the words. You could sit in front of a mirror and practice over and over again and get comfortable. If you did notice one thing, how comfortable Junior was saying the words, because he said it probably so many times. So if you'll sit in front of a mirror and say the words over and over again, you can be just as comfortable as he is. Because if I understand from Junior, when Junior feels comfortable, the client feels comfortable. And so his ability to just feel normal with it, I think goes a lot to why he's selling over $45,000 a month. Junior, thank you for jumping on. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, Chris. Love you guys. Thank you.